fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
I'll never forget the day my life changed forever. The autumn air was crisp, biting at my skin as I sat in my small bedroom, the weight of my family's debt pressing down on me like a suffocating blanket. The lone shark's threats had grown louder, more violent, each word a dagger to my already frayed nerves. I could smell the stale air, the scent of old books and worn furniture, and the faint hint of desperation that clung to everything. That evening a sharp knock shattered the silence, a sound that made my blood run cold. My heart pounded in my chest as I stepped into the living room, my parents' faces pale with fear. Two men filled the doorway, their cruel smiles sending a chill down my spine. "Time's up," one growled, his voice like gravel. My mother's sobs filled the room as they dragged us out, throwing me into a van with strangers whose eyes gleamed with malice. The drive was endless, the tension thick enough to choke on. I could feel the rough fabric of the van's seats, the cold metal of the door handle, and the faint vibration of the engine. When the van finally stopped, rough hands hauled me into a dim alley, then into a warehouse humming with the glow of computer screens. A shadow moved, tall, commanding, Kael, his blue eyes locked onto mine, his presence overwhelming. "Welcome, Lena," he said, his voice a low rumble that vibrated through me. "You're now a part of something bigger." The promise in his words sent a thrill of fear and something else coursing through my veins. But before I could respond, the sound of shattering glass echoed through the room and the lights went out. The darkness was absolute, and for a moment I couldn't breathe. Then a hand gripped mine, firm and reassuring. "Stay close," Kael whispered, his voice barely audible over the chaos erupting around us. I could hear the clash of metal, the shouts of men, and the unmistakable sound of spells being cast. My heart racing, I tried to make sense of the pandemonium. "What's happening?" I managed to ask, my voice trembling. "You'll see," Kael replied, his tone cryptic. He pulled me through the darkness, his movements swift and sure. We emerged into a hidden passageway, the air cool and damp. The walls were lined with ancient symbols that seemed to pulse with a faint, otherworldly light. "Where are we going?" I asked, my curiosity momentarily overriding my fear. "To safety," Kael said simply, "and to the truth." As we moved deeper into the passageway, I couldn't shake the feeling that my life was about to change in ways I couldn't yet comprehend. The symbols on the walls grew brighter, casting eerie shadows that danced around us. I could feel the weight of history bearing down on me, the secrets and mysteries that lay hidden in the ancient stones. Finally, we reached a large, circular chamber. In the center stood a pedestal upon which rested a glowing orb. "What is that?" I asked, my voice barely above a whisper. "Key to everything," Kael replied, his eyes fixed on the orb. "And now it's yours." I hesitated, unsure of what to do. "Take it," Kael urged, his voice firm but gentle. "It's your destiny." Slowly I reached out and touched the orb. A surge of energy coursed through me, filling me with a sense of power and purpose I had never known. I felt my heart expand, my mind open, and my very soul stir. "Welcome, Lena," Kael said again, his voice filled with pride. "You're now a part of something bigger." And as I stood there holding the orb, I knew that my life would never be the same. I thought about my parents, about the debt, about the lone shark's threats. I thought about the strangers in the van, about the warehouse, and about the chaos that had erupted around us. But most of all, I thought about Kael, about his piercing blue eyes, and about the sense of safety and protection that he had offered me. I felt a sense of gratitude towards him, a sense of wonder at the secrets that he seemed to hold. And I knew that I would follow him, no matter where he led, no matter what lay ahead. As I stood there, the orb still clutched in my hand, I felt a sense of excitement, of anticipation. I knew that my journey was just beginning, that the path ahead would be fraught with danger, with uncertainty. But I also knew that I was not alone. I had Kael and I had the orb, and together we would face whatever lay ahead as a team, as a unit, as a force to be reckoned with. The chamber was silent now, the only sound the soft hum of the orb. I looked up at Kael and he smiled, his eyes crinkling at the corners. "Are you ready?" he asked, his voice low and husky. I nodded, my heart pounding in my chest. "I'm ready," I said, my voice firm. And with that, our journey began. We walked out of the chamber into a new world, a world of magic, of wonder, of danger. And I knew that I would never be the same again.